Welcome back to another week of Those AshHoles. We have a special treat this week. Not only a pillar of the Italian community here in Indianapolis, but just a pillar of the city in itself. I've been here for all of 30 minutes. I found out this place has been here for over 100 years. Pleased and very thankful to be joined this week by the leadership team from Iaria's Italian restaurant.
Yes, thanks, guys. We appreciate you coming in. This is awesome.
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks,
the hospitality. I shot you the invite, and he might do it, he might not do it, and you're like, yeah, let's do it, and I appreciate it.
It only took a few months to
Well, we had to get it in
lock
the
it down.
schedule and work it out with you guys and whatnot. Get in here when you're not under operation, because when you're under operation, this place is packed. So, well, let's just start this off. What can you tell us about, just start at the beginning, the history of the existence? I know it was your great-grandfather or grandfather?
great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather, Pete, is it?
Pete and Antonia.
Pete and Antonio, they started, I'm not going to fill in the gaps. I'm going to let you do it. Tell us the history of Iaria's.
All right, so I'll start. I'm Matt Iaria. This is my cousin Dominic Iaria. So in, 1913 is kind of when our family settled in this area.
Mm-hmm.
They lived right here on the, where the parking lot is now. There was all houses right through there. They started selling food, not really selling food just yet, but when you got a lot of immigrants that came over 100 years ago, they came by themselves, only knew a few people, so they were called boarders. A lot of people just call them boarders. So you'll see a lot of houses around here that have a front door and then a side door to one room.
Right.
So you'd get one person staying in that room, they'd rent out that room. There were some factories around here, and some of these boarders would come in, looking for food. The word got out that they were feeding some people out of here, so that kind of snowballed into actually doing a restaurant out of the bottom of the house, the first floor of the house.
Really?
They lived above that house, and for a while, they did that for probably 15, 20 years.
Wow.
So this is
Before,
1900 then. I mean, this is...
It's 1913.
13 is when he said it's
when they
established.
settled in here. Yeah.
So were they primarily facilitating, was it other Italian immigrants, or was it immigrants from all over that would just come and kind of settle here?
I think there were back then you had those
Pockets,
pockets.
yeah. So it was just Little Italy?
This was the Italian kind of pocket.
Okay.
A little bit farther south of here, then you get into the Irish.
Okay.
You go over where the Volrath used to be.
Yeah.
That's German.
Well, it's funny, you could tell by the Catholic churches. Because, the legendary Italian-American Catholic Church right down the street here, literally down the street, is Holy Rosary. That's the Italian-American Catholic parish. Then you go south, like you said, St. Patrick's in Fountain Square. That was the Irish one. Then you go southwest, you got Sacred Heart, which was the German one, and on and on and on.
Yeah, that's
so
how I knew kind of where those.
And then they had the neighborhoods and a little bit of overlap, over the years, and everybody just kind of started to blend. And
Yeah, it's a big melting pot now of.
so you guys are, you obviously not you. They're running basically a kitchen out of the basement of the house. And
Do you know what they were selling at that time? Any idea of what they were,
food, the menu
what they were
board?
offering?
Can I guess
So-
spaghetti?
Yeah.
Right, easy staples. Things you can cook pretty quick. But I mean, do anything
Pretty much what our menu looks like today.
Okay.
It was spaghetti and meatballs,
Yeah,
lasagna, veal parmesan, chicken cacciatore. My aunt was really known for. She had a heck of a chicken cacciatore. Pizzas, meatball sandwich, sausage sandwich, tenderloin.
Sounds like a huge menu for back in the day.
Yeah.
For a house
Out of a
kitchen.
basement.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
So they came here from Italy, or they
Yes.
come. Okay.
Yeah, so-
What brought them here? So my parents from Cuba. I'm always interested, Indiana.
Why here?
Yeah. So what's your family's inception? Just coming to the state.
So if you've ever been in the very southern part of Italy, it's really mountainous and a rough terrain.
Okay, so it's not like we picture the gondolas and all that.
No.
That's
Okay,
north. That's
okay.
north.
No, you don't have the rolling hills of
Yeah.
lush greens and it's very rocky, mountainous, and it's just I mean back then it was a land of opportunity.
Sure. Did they come in through was it through New York?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
it seemed like
New
everybody
York.
seemed to come through right there.
Do you have any idea why they said, you know what? Indianapolis. Why Indianapolis?
You know, so I wonder that every winter.
I say the same thing.
Like,
I say the same. It's. I'm
couldn't
cute.
we
Why
have
are
been
we
a
here?
little
It's
farther?
snowing.
What's
A little
going on?
south.
It's just Indianapolis does not have a large Italian American community.
I mean, you
but
seem
it's
to know
got a
everybody,
very well defined one and a very, very
a lot larger
proud
than
one.
you think.
Yeah.
It's large, but it's not as large as, let's say, New York or Jersey or
Right.
Philly.
Yeah.
But for a major market, there is absolutely a community here. The festival proves that every year.
And Italians do a really good job of keeping the community. Where you see another other ethnicities come here and they kind of lose their way. I think the Italian community does a good job of sticking together, and maybe that comes from, the immigrant roots of, find your people, help your people. We're a community. Doesn't mean you're not welcoming of others, but we kind of help ourselves first.
Yeah, there's probably like that word of mouth of, hey, I got a cousin who stopped. Like, who knows why they stopped here and not in Columbus or Youngstown or one of those other big Italian hotspots? But I guess it was like just the opportunity too. Like,
Well, with
there's
this,
land
Rich, I know the as you guys are aware, the Italian Americans really just flat out owned the produce market in this area forever.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, from day one. I mean, the Bovas, the Contis, the Mascaris, the Piazzas, the Casaros, the Romanos. I mean, and that's kind of really my connection to the community is through the Romano family, the Pita Romano.
Okay.
It's so one of my absolute best friends in the world, Steve Phillips. He's from the Romano family. Jackie Romano's son. Pete Romano's his grandfather. So, and David Page is Steve's godfather, and then Steve's godfather to two of my kiddos. So it's like godfather, great grandfather, godfather. I don't know. We can't keep up with it all. So it's like, I always joke. I said if we weren't inbred enough, we started inbreeding on paper too. I mean,
Yeah, David was my godfather as well.
yeah,
That's funny.
He was the guy there. He
So
was
how
the
long?
real-
How long did they? So they started this business 1913. We're gonna make this official.
Okay.
What did that look like? That was out of the house. They lived on the second floor. Kitchen's on the first.
There's
Yeah,
a
you wanna
picture of
pause
the
it? We got a
house
picture over here.
up in the corner.
Oh
we'll
wow!
we'll get a shot of that here in a
Where
little
it
bit.
started.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
lived upstairs, and downstairs
Was
was
that
the restaurant.
right here?
Right here on this corner.
That is
Oh,
cool.
my.
the
Faced
the
that
front
way.
door of that house is pretty much where that front door is right now.
So we're sitting on your history.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is your history. This is where it
This is
started for
family
like
history,
your
yes.
family.
Yeah. Wow. Now, what year? When did they clearly tear down the house and build this?
This was built in 1954.
Yeah.
This
So they
building
worked
here.
out of that house all those years?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they did it because my dad, the brothers were getting older, and they were having families. Mm-hmm. So it was too much for the whole family trying to live off of this business.
Right.
So he talked Grandpa into building the bowling alley next door.
Now, that was always duck pin bowling, correct?
No.
It was a regular
bowling alley,
Okay.
12 lanes.
Okay.
And it did a lot of PAL stuff. Dad was hooked up with the police department and doing a lot of stuff for them and supporting that stuff. And
That's awesome.
and did a blind. He was the only one that had a blind league in there for the blind people.
That's cool.
Put up rails and they could bowl in there, and that was neat. But that's how that got built. And then they tore the house down after that was done, and then built this building.
Okay, so you had like PAL, so you had the kids that worked with the cops and they were bowling, with the PAL club and everything. So I was a PAL kid. I boxed for the
Did
PAL
not
club.
work.
Yeah.
Did not work.
Yeah, whatever. I had the honor of going back and serving on the PAL board for a few years, 20 years ago. So it was that I really like to hear that you guys were active with the PAL club. That's a great organization. So you had the leagues going there. Now, it's not Iaria's bowling alley anymore. When did it transition away from
My
that?
dad sold it in 1972.
He sold it in 1972.
Yeah.
That was a minute ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The year I was born.
Real long ago. But I mean, at one point in time, you had Iaria's bowling alley.
Yeah, it
and then
was
you had
a hopping-
Iaria's restaurant.
Yeah.
Kind of, the restaurant was just next door, first floor.
Yeah.
And you had the bowling alley just on
And
the
they
other
had
side.
they had a door in a little cubby over here. It was a big barn door.
Yeah.
And we could open it up, and then People from the bowling alley could come in here, get a drink, and take it over to the bowling alley.
Wow.
Or people from here was eating and were waiting for the lanes to open up for them to bow, and they come over to bow.
I feel like we need that concept.
I was gonna say that sounds like an actual great idea.
Yeah, let's bring that back.
It was a great idea.
Yeah, it's
It
awesome.
just, bigger bowling alleys start growing.
Yeah.
Competition was getting rough for my dad.
Bowling got big.
Yeah.
Back
Back in the 70s and
Yeah.
80s, yeah.
Well, it was one of those games you could do. It didn't take a lot of equipment. You bring,
Wasn't
got your
real
$10,
expensive.
wasn't
Ball
expensive.
shoes.
Rent shoes. We don't have to have a ball. Short
Let
day.
your kids go crazy.
Yeah.
And
You
you
need a
can
babysitter.
and you can drink while you all sports
Yeah.
take off if you could drink while
Yeah.
you
Drink
while
and smoke.
Yeah, like darts, pool, bowling.
God
whatever.
forbid you could pop right next door to the restaurant and grab
Yeah.
some
Right.
spaghetti or something.
So let's take a let's note what we're drinking here, guys.
yeah,
this is-
I've heard that I'm in for it. This is
you're-
my first time.
You need to.
I'm going authentic.
You go slow. So I'm gonna let Matt speak to it. Matt, what are we enjoying right now?
So I just made some limoncello, like it's a drink of the southern Italy. I mean, not to get too far into it, but
Yeah, let's
Take us into the weeds. I'd
Let's
never
go.
even heard of it.
so
educating.
you start with like a high grain, high proof grain alcohol. So this has got a little bit of like 151 mixed with some 100 proof vodka. You let lemon peels just sit in here for 3-4 weeks,
Wow.
and then you temper it down with some sugar water, and then you mix all that together, strain it, throw it in the freezer.
How long? So you said 3-4 weeks. So this bottle that you brought out, you said this is the maiden voyage for this thing.
Yeah.
How long has this thing been sitting before you pulled it out today? Or at least the liquid inside of it.
Let's see. I started messing with this when we set the date. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I want to have something. So I probably bottled this about a week and a half ago.
Wow. It's just been waiting.
It's actually, so for those that haven't have limoncello, and I don't know where y'all.
It's a lemon drop. It's a lemon. It tastes
It
like
tastes
a
like
lemon
a
drop.
lemon head. You know the lemon head candy.
Super good.
Except it's got.
Yeah, a little bit of
punch.
bite.
You got to
Yeah.
be careful. You got to be real careful with this. Like when we used to sell it at my old Italian restaurant, I would limit people to one. I'm like, nah, you're gonna have one. I don't need that on my conscience.
All right, so we got to get into this because
So-
I'm
usually
that
all you
guy
need.
that will ask the questions because I feel like the only you always hear the only dumb question is one you don't ask. And now the older I
No,
get,
I've heard you ask some
the,
dumb
well, I do ask dumb questions, but it's because I legitimately want to know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with a lightning round of things that I learned about Italians through The Sopranos, and we're gonna see how much of this stuff is right. All right. Number one, I'm gonna ask, what is gabagool? I hear that term all the time. What the heck does it even mean? And I've heard I'm not even saying it right. So can you take me through that?
From what I've gathered I think it's just like a slang term for an Italian meat.
Okay.
It's slang for capicola.
Yeah, so you got, like
Capicola.
capicola. I don't know if they just can't say it.
Okay.
Or it just all runs together.
Yeah.
The capicola.
Gabagool.
So I'm hearing
Gabagool.
gabagool, but that's not what
Yeah.
he's saying.
Well,
right?
it is what they're saying now. It's evolved. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's capicola.
So it's just
turned
meat.
into
It's just a
gabagool.
meat, sliced meat. You can get it in the Italian deli or
It's delicious.
How many people do you know that say forget about it? And like say it for real. Don't say it to be corny. Like you have uncles that say it all the time.
no, because a lot of my Italian uncles are gone.
Okay.
I'm one of the younger of our generation. My dad was the youngest of his siblings.
Yep.
So like of all the first cousins on like the Iaria side, like it's my sister, my brother, and then me. Like we're the three youngest by 5 or 6 years.
Gotcha.
So a lot of those.
So
older
Dominic, you're
guard-
not running around here going,
Forget about it. Smacking people on the cheek. No.
No, I don't think that saying was used around here very much.
He said only in the movies.
It was just,
Yeah, that was like 25 years
you
ago.
asked too many
too.
questions.
That's what they say. Hey, there's a guy outside
fall
looking
under
for
questioning.
you. Yeah.
So-
You guys started, you said 1913.
Yeah.
And there for a while, the Italian mafioso was running some stuff for a good chunk of years. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Was there any rumors ever that they would make stops through here? This is a symbol of America or a symbol of the state.
I actually
Not far from Chicago.
I actually did a real deep dive on that a few years ago to figure out why Indianapolis
Yeah.
really didn't have
The Chicago.
Cosa Nostra
Yeah.
influence. We just didn't for a big city. What did you guys experience? What did you know? What have you guys
Or the
heard?
stories
Maybe
you've
it's
heard.
one of those that they're really good at what they do. So you
It's
don't-
kind of like the CIA. You don't hear about our successes.
Yes.
It's like
Well,
maybe every country has ninjas, but Japan's are the worst because that's the only ones you know.
There you go.
There it is.
That's a good-
That,
that's a
right
good-
on time. Right on
I
time.
turned that off. Anyway, but so what I had picked up on, because I did a big deep dive on it a few years back, the reason why we don't have like a family that ran,
Like
organized
Midwest,
crime.
yeah.
It's in the Midwest. St. Louis has a distinct family. Chicago's always had its
Right.
syndicate. Detroit has their. Cleveland has theirs. Even there's a little activity in Cincinnati, but that's from the Cleveland family. The reason why Indianapolis was left alone is because Al Capone wanted Indianapolis off limits. Because this is where he was sending guys on the lam. He'd come through here to go to Miami. He wanted this little town by the name of Clinton, Indiana, the west of us, is a little Italian town, and then French West Baden. This is where he would go to hide.
So we don't do dirt here. We're
No,
hanging
that's not
out.
necessarily true. It's just he didn't want.
Fair Hope, Sin City.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't want the big footprint here because he wanted to be able to left alone to work here, do whatever, have his meetings here, and one thing that coincided where they talked about when Dillinger started robbing all those banks. Where did he start? Right up here was the first one, right around the corner here, up on Dorman Street. Sorry, and all of a sudden he left the Indianapolis area. He left. He's over robbing other. Is because everybody had to kick up to the boss, the syndicate at the time, and he's like, "You're good. Keep kicking up. Get out of Indy."
Yeah, you're making my block hot.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
making it hot. Exactly. That's what I heard.
That makes sense, I guess.
Is it factual? I don't know, but that's what I heard from an older gentleman that used to, and I'm blanking on his name. I feel horrible. He's related to Joe Lawson. He was a IPD officer for years, and then he became a Marion County Sheriff.
Sansoni?
What's that?
Sansoni?
I think that's it. Obviously, he had dark hair. But anyway, he was telling me about the old story. He was the one, because he used to come into my
He'd be
restaurant.
the one to know.
Yeah, he would sit down. He's the one that told me. He says, we knew they'd come through here. I said, what'd you do if you ran into him? He goes, nothing.
Yeah.
We went the other way. But he would tell you they would come here, but they just made, they're like, do not muddy the water in Indianapolis.
That
Leave it alone.
story seems like it would make sense. I mean, given what I would do, it's like, hey, that's home plate. Don't crap where you eat. How many
Right,
times have you
yeah.
heard that, right?
Yeah, well, he
So-
did a lot of crapping up in Chicago where he hit, but
So now the bowling alley's been sold. You guys have this restaurant. You built up this one. What year were you born?
I'm born '79.
All right, so you're born after the building's born. The building's created
yeah,
here,
this is
correct?
you grew up in this.
I was gonna say you
This
grew up
one's in,
here.
1954. The bowling alley was 1948, 7,
47.
something like
yeah.
that. There's like a
Oh, so yeah, like 30 years, 40 years.
7-year gap.
So you grew
yeah,
up in
he's
this
a young
building
one.
essentially, running around playing games.
So when I was growing up, my uncle Nick and my aunt Kathleen they kind of ran it. And they kind of got it to like
Sorry.
the hype of
What is
when it was in the heyday of like downtown when there was only I don't know 7-8 restaurants if that back when it really wasn't cool to come downtown.
Sure.
Yeah. At 70s, it was not cool to come downtown at
Yeah.
the time.
But my dad had a restaurant with some of like the pages, not far from where St. Elmo is called La Scala.
Yeah.
They had that. They had a big Italian restaurant down there too. And it kind of just downtown was just tough back then.
People see that stretch where St. Elmo's is now, and they just think, man,
Money.
rents there's
Yeah.
gotta be through the roof.
That's what I
It's just
think.
everything. Man, I remember that when I was a kid in the 70s and 80s. That was just a nothing. It's St.
Illinois
Elmo's.
Street.
Huh?
Illinois Street.
Yeah, it was
St.
just a-
Elmo's and La Scala's
Yeah.
were right down the street from each other.
It wasn't what people see today.
No.
There wasn't this big deal there. St. Elmo's has been there for a long time, but St. Elmo's wasn't the legendary steakhouse today that it is today. Then, I mean,
Well, it
was
kind of
known
is
for
today
being-
just 'cause it's been there
known
forever.
for being really good, but
Yeah.
it's changed. I mean, it's just different. That area changed a lot. When did they close that restaurant?
Man, so they had it right next to on Illinois, and then they moved over to Meridian to a really big, like 4-story building. They had like a restaurant and then like a banquet hall.
You remember which one building it was?
It's
Oh,
like
it's there, wasn't
one. It's where like Von Mar or
Yeah.
Carson
So-
Perry
okay,
Scott
so where they
went.
built the mall in. Okay. Yeah.
They ended up getting bought out by the mall. Like
Yeah.
the government pushed them out. But that was like it's like 117 South Meridian, kind of in there. And then
You said it was four stories.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember that as a kid, like running around.
I mean, what was
They
on
had
all
a
four? You
bakery,
had
they had everything in there.
a bakery, a convention type hall. You had a restaurant.
I mean, the second floor that we ran around in was like a huge banquet hall, like wood floors, chandeliers.
Wow.
It was like really nice. It was a really nice spot. Like it would absolutely crush down there right now if
Oh yeah.
And you just running
I
around.
had my wedding there.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did your wedding there? Oh,
Rehearsal dinner there. I mean, rehearsal. What? Reception.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Reception. Yeah.
So what year did they wrap that up? Was it when they built the mall, which was about 20 years ago? So that's more than that.
no,
Shoot, it's
yeah.
been over 30 years ago.
Yeah, so-
Yeah.
So they turned it into a nightclub in like the late '80s called Don't Ask.
I remember the name of that. I don't think I
It sounds like I
Making me
missed
feel
out.
Old.
Yeah, it was the classic kind of turquoise neon, pink
Yeah.
neon.
Yeah.
Like late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah.
Miami's.
Straight
Miami
out of
Vice.
Vegas.
Yes.
Pickup club joint. Yeah.
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 Big hair,
horrible
big
80s,
hair.
Yeah. There's more Aquanet in that place. Aquanet and Marble Lights. Horrible. Everybody's in there wearing
Old Spice.
polo,
Yeah.
cologne.
So I don't know. That was probably like early '90s.
Yep, yep.
When they got
Late 80s, early 90s.
yeah, probably like '91ish.
That would have been on the west side of Meridian.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The west
Yeah,
side.
we-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd forgotten all about that place. I don't think that lasted real long, did it?
No.
So, and then when did you guys ended up, the family consolidated back here,
So when my aunt and uncle were running it with their daughters in the '80s and '90s.
Yep. I know both of them pretty well.
So fast forward to like early 2000s, my aunt Kathleen gets cancer,
Yep.
pretty aggressive lung cancer, spread pretty quick, liver. I want to say she died in like 6 months, man,
Yeah.
from like when she got
Wow.
diagnosed. It was like
Took her quick.
January to June.
Yeah. So I know Gina pretty well, and we've talked about that.
Okay,
She-
yeah. So she's
wonderful
Gina's
family.
probably about your age.
Yeah, awesome human being. She used to bring her daughter into my old place whenever, about once a month, they come and have lunch together. So
Oh yeah,
just
yeah,
chat.
They
with
live
them.
down on the south side.
Yeah, they're Southsiders.
So then she died. My grandmother died 6-7 weeks after that, and then they just stopped. They just legit shut the door and walked out. Like
We're done.
done.
This place probably had just so many memories for them that had
Yeah.
their faces all over it.
How do you go back in and not think about it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, they probably saw every corner of this place was a memory for them. I would imagine.
Yeah, for
That'd
sure.
have been tough,
I mean,
yeah.
they.
So did you guys just say, "Hey, we got this," or?
So I was actually with David Page that summer, and he was like, "You guys should take that over." I was like, "What the fuck do I know about running?"
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like 23.
I just got the last name, bro. Yeah.
I was young and dumb.
Yeah.
It's a bar.
And right, and so I don't know. I had a cousin that was just getting out of culinary school.
Yeah.
He kind of got in. We were probably drinking one night and said we should probably do it,
All
and then my sister
great
got
endeavors
in.
begin with drinking. Best business
Dominic
plan I've
came
ever
back.
written started on a bar nap.
Yeah, just like French Lick, the Pete Dye course I think is on
Yeah.
a napkin down
On a
there.
napkin. Yeah.
So anyway, I was just fresh out of school and got Dominic. I had a younger brother. He ended up getting out, and then my cousin ended up getting out, and we're the only ones left.
Wow. Okay.
And
well,
Dom's retiring.
quitter.
Right.
Why are you retiring,
Dom-
man?
Dom's paid his dues.
You've been having too much fun.
Way too much fun.
Way too much fun. So, and you've been
grandkids
here
to
this
see.
whole time then, since
40-some years.
40 some years.
What's the
Wow.
biggest change you've seen?
Biggest change I've seen. That's a tough question. Probably just the attitude of people.
That come in?
Yeah.
Is it more? Is it less less community based. Where back in the day, we're like, okay, Iaria is a staple of the community. I come here to hang out with my friends versus like people showing up and being entitled.
Iaria, like he was saying in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. We didn't have the competition that we have right now.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We have more competition than we did.
Well, we didn't have all these fugazi chains that are pretending to be.
Well, yeah.
What we get now is people that don't want that kind of food.
Yeah.
They're not in that, settling, we'll just, we're downtown, we'll just go eat here because it's close.
Yep.
Yeah.
They want to look for good food.
You're right.
That's the people we get.
They call them foodies now.
Yeah.
They want the real stuff.
Well,
I'm a little older than you guys, so
Yeah.
the truth be told, you go a lot of places today, and it's like, I'm already paying this ridiculous price if I go. Let's say I go to Weber Grill, and shout out to Weber Grill. I think their food's good, but no issue. But you go there and you leave, and you're like, man, I paid a lot of money for this meal. Would I rather pay a fraction of that and have people that actually care about my meal? That's a family-owned business. You have a lot in stake, right? You're not backed by a Weber name. You're not backed by some big conglomerate. This is you and your family basically saying, this is who we are, this is what we stand for, and this is what you can expect when you come to Iaria.
Well, that's the big thing I preach to people all the time. I've been consulting with restaurants for years, and I tell people all the time, you got to go to the mom and pops.
They care.
It's not just that. You're helping yourself when you go to the mom and pop, because all that money they make and all the taxes they pay is here.
It stays here.
When you go to pick a freaking chain store on a major
You go
highway.
you go to Penn Station for lunch. That's not helping your community.
They pay local employees. They buy some stuff off the local market, but by and large, all that money leaves our economy.
Yeah.
And I saw some marketing studies years ago. It's like, if I went to a mom and pop Italian restaurant like this, the dollar I spend in here is going to recycle through our economy before it just dissipates. It's like over 20 freaking times over, close to 30 times over that dollar, because you're going to spend your money locally. You're going to pay your property tax. You're going to go to another mom and pop.
You got to go get the produce for here. You tip out your waitress. She spends her money locally.
If you go to, I don't know, Olive Garden, that dollar's gone in less than 10 rounds. It's about 8-9 times, and that dollar's out of the economy, gone. And I'm just like, so I get it. If you like the food, you like the food, but just be mindful. Everybody's bitching about their potholes and all this, which that has a lot more to do with the lack of leadership around here. But anyway, but all these things to feed the economy, you need that taxation. You need all that money to stay here. Keep paying your neighbors to exist. Because why would you go and spend money with someone that doesn't know you, doesn't care, ain't from here, versus somebody that does? That I'm gonna run into you in Costco,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, just let's keep this local, and then everything just starts to get better. You show me markets that more people stay with the local mom and pop, independently owned and operated businesses, not just restaurants, by and large, versus the chains. I'll show you those local economies do significantly better.
Yeah.
And it's not just about getting the better food, because you are getting the better food. I'm biased,
Definitely.
but you are getting the better food. But the fact that you're also helping yourself by keeping your money local is huge. But I don't understand why people can't wrap their head around that.
Yeah.
So
Now,
Well, we're able to keep it a little bit cheaper for you too, because
you do.
We own everything. So.
right.
You do. I mean, I don't feel, when I walk out of here, after feeding my family, and everybody's happy and full.
Well, that's
I don't
what-
feel like I got to fill out a fucking loan application to pay my bill.
Yeah.
You go to some of these other places, I'm like,
Definitely.
holy shit! You
Take
got
your
a
lady out
knife,
to
so I
eat,
start taking
$200
some blood. It's ridiculous.
Well, you want to grab a decent dinner, you're paying almost $200, and it's like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I love you, but you ain't worth it. You ain't worth it.
So, but I mean, you guys, we were talking before. This is the restaurant that my wife and I got married. We didn't leave on our honeymoon.
It's usually how it works, Brian.
Yeah, it does.
You usually have to marry the wife.
We didn't leave for our honeymoon for a day after. So we came here, just me and her, the next day to eat dinner. This is the first place my wife and I had dinner as a married couple with her, with my last name. And your iconic placemats.
Yeah.
My wife's a keepsaker. So she has that thing framed with a bunch of stuff from our wedding.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's still hanging in my, I've been pimping your guys' brand in my house for 30 years. It'll be 30 years August that we came here. It's right there. I know exactly where we
Yeah.
sat. So,
So you pick up this business. How does that even happen?
In your early 20s.
So they said they're done. You're 23. You holler at Dom, and you're like, "Hey, man, like let's do it." You don't know what you're doing. Do you know what you're doing?
I've been here for quite a while.
All right, so you would have been a holdover. They're closing the doors. Hey, you want to pick it up with me?
you were the bridge.
Yeah. So basically, without Dom, none of this happens, is what it sounds like.
Well, no. No, his dad had come to me and told me what was going on and wanted to know if I would come back and work with his kids. And to me, that's an opportunity. I mean, this place has gave me what I've gotten in life right now. So it's not we're ever going to be rich, but you can make a good living out of this business if you do it the right way. And
I would argue you're
he's
rich.
learned.
All the people that know and love you.
I'm very proud of this one to my left right here. He's when I taste the food, it's like tasting my grandma's food. So that
That's
was the
awesome.
hardest part of the whole thing.
That's a hell of a compliment.
So yeah, we're gonna stay there because I can see this.
That's a hell of a
hold on.
compliment.
We're gonna sit on that because as men, and we need to do a better job of this. Like men don't get their flowers until they're dead, bro. Like that's just the way it works, So I can tell just you hearing that. Sometimes, I'm a dad, and sometimes just hearing man like, hey man, I just want to say like you're a good dad. Well, make me emotional on the inside because it's like, man, that's all I've ever wanted to hear, and it looks like you hearing like, man, I'm proud of you means a lot to you.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the reason like that we got back into it isn't like for me, it's like we have like a nice umbrella of just family around that having something to call your own is getting rarer and rarer. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do their own thing. They go work for other people. I mean, it is tough. Like sometimes when you're being on your boss, like you don't get to call in when you want to. You're like, you know what? I don't feel like coming in today. Yeah. Fuck. No, you do have to come in today. Like that shit's not.
You're the
done.
next guy on duty too.
Right. Who you
You
calling?
have a
in? You calling
responsibility.
yourself?
Yeah.
Self. You're coming in.
Do you feel like there's pressure to like to carry that banner of the Iaria name? And be honest, like is there a little bit?
There is. I mean, there's not always.
It's not just for you. It's
Like
about
a
the
younger
people that
generation
started this
that-
business in 1913. Like you're the next guy in the list of people who ran this, and 50 years from now, when this business is still here, somebody will talk about you.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a little bit of it because, ideally, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've got another like a kid or somebody that I know that would want to do this, but then also you're like, I don't know.
Do I want my kid
them
to?
do
Yeah,
this shit.
yeah.
Are your daughters showing any interest in the restaurant?
Do you want them as a
My
follow up as
daughter
well?
likes money. That's about
It's the working part.
It's
That's
the
the
Italian.
only thing that she
How old is
likes
she?
about. She's getting ready to turn 17.
Okay, so she likes money, but she doesn't like
Does
to
she
know.
work here?
Doesn't like to know how to get it.
She does work here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Serving, cooking, what's she doing?
She's a busser.
That's
Bus-
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she next? Is that something that you want? Have you discussed it? You
No.
seem like you're pretty young, so that might be far down the street.
She's
We don't want her. In
no.
He said we're
she's
keeping
more
it.
of like a. She said she wants to get into like healthcare.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
So,
super admirable.
This is a rough business for a lady.
Yeah,
To be a,
It's rough on families too. Like just
Yeah.
like late hours.
nobody cares when your birthday is. I got to go in.
I'll be honest with you. We do this because of our grandparents, not because of us.
Right.
We do this because of our
Because if you don't, it goes away,
That's right.
Yeah. You
That's-
guys,
and that
That's
matters.
why-
That matters.
It's
Everybody
yeah.
goes, well, you could get a bartender job at St.
Make more
Elmo's
money.
and,
Yeah.
go. But if I want, I can walk in and say, hey, cuz, I need this weekend off.
Yep.
I can't do that there.
Yep.
Or, hey, he's got to be gone. He knows I'm here. So, I know he's here. We do it because our grandparents started this.
yeah. As the legacy you're honoring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like you feel
That's-
responsible for carrying
That's why
it.
I've been here this long. Is
For
because
sure.
Like
our
you can't let it fail.
grandparents, And like he said,
It can't. It's not allowed to fail.
Well, you could have went and managed some other big restaurant or something.
No, I would not
You
have
get a
done
check out at 5, you're done. It's not my problem, but the light bill doesn't get paid.
this young man could have done anything he wanted.
No, that would have been. It would be nice to have be able to leave the shit behind at.
Because when you're off,
5.
you're not off.
No.
You're
It's
never
still in your head. You're still, oh, did I do this?
Sundays are pretty good.
Yeah.
That's why people are like, you should open on Sunday. I was like, oh.
If you weren't doing this, what did 23-year-old think he wanted to do?
Aside from playing pro baseball or some shit.
I really wanted to go like get into golf, some sort of.
That's the widest thing I've heard today.
Yeah.
What would you rather do to pay bills? I mean, I just figured I'd be a golfer. Just straight Rory out there. Just
No, just something in it. Like
Hold
I
the
like
golf
being
course.
outside. I like.
yeah. You don't get to do that much.
You get the bug, and then once you get it,
Are you good?
I'm decent, but
I want to learn
You
how
don't
to
get to
golf, but I'm
play.
so competitive. I refuse to go.
That's
I
my
will
problem.
suck.
I tell
I
people all the
suck.
time.
I will suck, and I will ruin all of our times.
for a competitive person, it's really rough.
yeah.
I am that.
You
I
think
always
it
tell
should be
people,
easy.
I'm a sore loser. I hit it
ball's not
twice.
moving.
I'm a sore loser too because I don't have a lot of
I
practice.
don't know where this thing is going. I'm good.
I've thrown my clubs. I've
Yeah.
even put them in and walked on.
And listen, I was a baseball player, and I remember I will never forget. I've took one real cut at a golf ball. And it was right after baseball practice, and it went not to the bar. And we're talking about 15 feet. I mean, I probably topped it knowing what I know now. It just dribbled like 4 feet, and I just put the clubs down. I was like, this is not for me.
As a baseball player, you'd think golf would be a lot easier.
Super transition, yeah.
Because you've got
You load.
a round bat,
Yeah.
hitting a round ball.
It's not even moving.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got that ball's not moving.
Problem is my club's just a little bit in, and the ball goes that way.
Well, yeah, you get.
I tell everybody
Half a degree off.
I fucking hate golf, but in fairness, golf hated me first. So
I
it
just
made
say
it
the first
very
time there's
clear.
a Cuban guy on the tour, I'll learn. But for now, I think I'm safe.
Yeah, you might be a little safe there. Yeah.
Well, as a podcast that started probably on drinking and smoking,
Yeah.
Yep.
that's a pretty good spot that you can transition.
I
right
don't
into
need
golfing.
I don't need an extracurricular activity to do my extracurricular
I also heard
activity.
it's kind of
I don't need
expensive. I
golf
heard
to
golf's kind of
drink.
expensive.
Oh, it's not cheap.
I heard it's not
everything's expensive.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
if you
true.
got to find every ball you hit, it's expensive too.
Well,
We did a golf outing for the Franklin Community High School wrestling team, and I don't golf, so my wife and I drove the beer cart around.
There you go.
We just value how get and we were just driving along the bushy wood line, and I'm like ball,
Yeah,
ball.
those
ball,
are all
ball.
Jerry's.
And I'm like, holy cow! And then if I was 15 again, I'd have been fishing everyone. I'd have thorns all over. I'd have fished every one of those balls, and I've been in the parking lot selling those things. There
Damn
were
alligator
balls
took my
everywhere.
hand off. So Iaria is over 100 years, man. And how long have you been running this puppy?
2003.
Okay, so we're over 20 years for
one big
you.
year.
What's the biggest change you've seen?
Man, I would say just being this downtown in general and just this area. Like, there used to be nothing over here, man. Like,
Yeah.
you've got a lot of apartments and condos building up over
Yeah.
here. Fountain Square was not what Fountain Square
Fountain
is
Square
now.
was rough back in the 80s.
I've never even been to Fountain Square. Just complete disclosure. Heard
I
of
go
it.
there. My office was there for
Yeah.
about 10 years, so I'm there quite a bit. But yeah, you're right. Fountain Square was not. You didn't walk around there with your girlfriend at night. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
That wasn't, now you look at it.
You don't walk down Virginia Street at
No,
that time.
now it's hipster heaven. Everybody's they wouldn't even know what violence is down there. It's all peaceful and music, and I kind of like it.
Sounds
It's
nice.
pretty chill. And one of my favorite bars in the city, the Brass Ring Lounge, is down there. So
Yeah.
They've changed a lot of
That's a
things.
good one. They got that Tommy gun up there. So
yeah,
they
well,
got-
that's Scott. Scott's Italian on his mother's side, and you go in there. They always got the old school Ella Fitzgerald, Rat Pack, Sinatra music going on. It's like, but it's not pretentious at all. You walk in there and cut off jeans if you want. I just love that bar. So it's iconic.
When you describe, the bar now, the tavern now, the restaurant now, I mean, it's big location. I've never been here before. I started out up here, and he said, let me show you where the dining area is at, and I go back there, it's even bigger. What does a typical night look like here? I mean, is it packed on both sides? Do you guys have karaoke? What kind of things do you guys? I mean, I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. What kind of things do you guys have? What's a typical night here versus during the week, a Friday night, Saturday night?
typically on a weekend, it just kind of like usually just kind of builds up. You're slowly building to the weekend. Ideally, it would be the same amount of busy
Yeah, sure.
the whole time.
Right.
That's the trick.
Not a complete shit show on Saturdays and drawing a blade out on Tuesday nights.
Right.
And it's got a lot to do with what's going on downtown too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot, concerts,
Pacer games.
Pacer
Convention.
games.
You get the women's Big Ten this week.
Yeah.
Men's Final Fours in town.
Final Four
So you
is
guys are
on.
kind of in a sweet spot here.
You're just outside of
for the
downtown.
listeners that
Yeah.
don't know, you go downtown, you park somewhere, you walk, you
You're
go
screwed,
to whatever event you're down there for, Pacers, WNBA, whatever, and then you walk to somewhere, and it's just kind of a madhouse. But that's what people are looking for. But here, you're close enough, but you're not too close.
They're outside
that you
downtown,
You
yeah.
got your own parking lot. You can get parking. You can get it. So I think it. There,
You can get in and out.
This is a
quick.
good.
Yes.
This is a good like
And-
start the night place. This is a great like come here,
Yeah.
eat,
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
drinks, and then let's go downtown.
A lot of times
can walk
the
down
big
there easy.
events negatively impact some of the places downtown because nobody goes in because they can't get parking, so it really hurts them. Colts games really do not help business to restaurants and bars down there. They don't. If they're down there, they're tailgating. So here, though, you could just get out, come right here. You could park. You can come in. I mean, and don't let me. Just say you better get here early because this place fills up. This place is known for filling up because it's good. But you can actually park here, which downtown Indianapolis, who has their own parking lot like you guys these days? Nobody. That's huge. Your food is phenomenal, but I come here for the parking alone.
For sure. Yeah, it's
So,
definitely what.
So it's.
Makes
I've been
it
coming
easy
in
draw.
here since I was a young guy. I was joking with Jerry earlier. I used to come in here as a poor high school kid. During the day, I'd be out whatever. I'd come in here, and for like $5, I could get whatever you had that day, whether it be pasta fagioli or minestrone. I'd get a bowl of soup and some water, or a cup of coffee or something, and I could eat, and I had a wonderful meal, and nobody does it anymore. Everybody's a stupid ass drive-throughs.
Yeah.
Taco Bell and all.
Most of my meals are handed to me through a window.
Yeah, nah, I can't do it.
Or
I
driver.
Yeah.
You get a lot of.
Yeah, I won't. I just rarely, if ever, do it anymore. I think it also being in this industry for so long, on principle, I just can't do it. I just won't do it. I'll eat when I get home.
So let's talk some customers.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys have been around here for forever. You guys have anybody that has just been here for forever with you?
Customers, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a customer maybe that has 20 years, 30
I've
years,
lost a lot
40
of good
years, friendly
customers.
face.
They're just pillars in here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What they say in
People
Goodfellas
will
advertisers, if
say-
he was in here anymore, he'd be a stool.
Like I remember when my parents got engaged here in like
Yeah.
1947 or something.
Wow. That is so
Like
cool.
that. Yeah. Like you probably don't hear that.
Now this
Too many
place is
places.
also known for a lot of famous people come here. This is the cool guy
I
spot.
mean, there are a lot of pictures
when-
that are signed on the wall.
And when you come in, you see all these autographed photos on the walls. And this isn't like a lot of those places they send off for them. The person in the picture never was here. All these folks were here.
Yeah,
They
for
came
sure.
in
Yeah.
here. They were, you got some very iconic regulars here. I remember back in the day when like Bird was still the coach of the Pacers. He was in here all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
So's Carlisle. Carlisle's in here.
Yeah.
Just posted up like a regular person, just enjoying a meal.
Yeah, Larry's a good
Or
guy.
getting carry out. They're big pizza lovers.
Yep.
These guys are. Pizza and a couple beers.
Do you find you kind of have to protect some of those famous people that come in here, kind of keep people away
That's
from
why
them?
Larry liked coming here eating.
You take care of it.
Yeah.
Keep it. Yeah. We'd have had a little bit in my place, and I just like, hey, get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was told though he would come in late at night after the games.
Larry.
Yeah, and
Larry
he was on his
Legend.
own then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, but when he come in before games and would eat,
Yep.
I always made sure nobody.
He's
you know,
eating.
and it was hard because you had young
Especially
kids.
with little kids,
Yeah.
you know.
That
I mean,
was
it's
the
Larry
hardest-
Bird.
That was the hardest one I ever had to do was stop a young kid,
Yeah.
and there was like 3 or 4 of them. And I even said something to Larry about it, and he just kind of looked at me like, no ordeal. I said, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just told him, look, when he's here, he likes to eat and not be bothered.
It's me time.
Yeah.
And
And that's probably why he came here, for a little bit of the privacy, and I can just pretend to be a normal guy for a little bit.
Of all
And
the,
a thin crust pizza.
all the when they come in here, you
Say
guys,
thin crust.
Yeah.
the two
not
things
a
I
spelling.
think of, the places when people that Indianapolis is known for is St. Elmo's and Iaria's. So when people that are famous come in town, they want to go to St. Elmo's and Iaria's. Who are some of the regulars in the past that they were like legit regular people coming in here all the time? You'd see them all the time. And I'm not going to make you like talk about maybe current ones, because then next thing you know,
Yeah.
they're getting bombarded in here, and you're having to guard them. But like some of the people that just
Rick Majerus
comes
to my mind.
Yeah.
Remember him? UTEP.
Big John Gillis.
Big John Gillis.
If you remember him,
Yeah.
he used to do the morning show. He was a big time, huh?
Was he in the helicopter too?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
helicopter. Yeah, did
Eye in the sky.
the traffic controller.
Yeah.
He was traffic controller in the morning. He was big during the Sopranos.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I remember.
Because we used to watch Sopranos here.
Oh, see, that's
We have
right.
it
That's in
on.
my head. That's
There'd
what
be
I
a
thought you
bunch
guys
of-
were doing.
There'd
Forget
be
about
a
it,
bunch
Jerry.
of people
Yeah.
sitting here watching
Kissing
the
each other on the
Sopranos.
cheeks and stuff, saying forget about it. Putting out some capo cola.
Yeah.
So did you notice?
With the
Did you
gabagool.
notice a difference in the behavior of some of your patrons in the height of the Sopranos era?
Like all of a sudden, everybody was like Uber,
Yeah,
like
everybody's
over
coming
the.
in. Everybody's trying to dress like
He
Paulie
He was too
Walnuts.
young at that time.
Yeah,
He was doing it.
Yeah, it was starting to phase out at
yeah.
2003, I feel like. But I remember at the street festival, they had like "Forget About It" all over like,
Yeah.
shirts and on
Yeah.
the back of it. I remember that too, like all one big word.
Yeah.
All the real times like this is
Forget about
embarrassing.
it.
Just
Yeah.
stop.
Right.
It's like you're kind of blonde.
So speaking of like the festivals and stuff, I heard you guys were pretty big in just starting that whole thing. This the Italian festivals and this the Italian community.
That
and-
was his dad and Davy Page.
Yep.
We used to have a group called the Italian Society, and that was just a bunch of guys that grew up around here together, and it actually started because Holy Rosary sidewalks were was falling apart, and they needed to be redone, and we decided we got together at Old La Scala's, and on the second floor, and had a big meeting about doing a festival, and everybody just started, well, we can cook the fettuccine, this family will do the pasta, this family does, do this, and that's how that got started.
wow.
That was
What year? Do you remember what
1980.
year was the first festa?
I can tell you pretty much to the fact that it was 1984.
Yeah, yeah. So I grew up now.
Rocky was born in 87.
So
It was the
Rocky,
year I got married.
Rocky and I actually were in the same army unit together for a while.
Oh, my son Rocky?
Rocky Iaria,
Yeah.
jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah.
He's a paratrooper.
I love Rocky.
Oh, you were a paratrooper too?
a lawn dart. So, no, I love Rocky. I remember when Rocky first joined. He was a young pup. Yeah, he was a great kid.
He's second in command now. at
I know.
Bomb Squad.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
watching
it's
him
been
go
good
off.
to him.
So him and I always talk, like we're on Facebook or whatever, because I'll be cooking some stuff at home and I'll throw some photos on and make everybody jealous. He does the same thing.
I
So
know.
we're like, oh, look at this, look at that. We trade stories or recipes anyway. But yeah,
Both of my boys are very good cooks. Rocky and Brandon are both good cooks.
yeah, I haven't seen Rocky in a few years. I think that last time I saw him, I bumped into him in here.
Yeah, I was just with him this morning. He had to have a little surgery on his elbow.
Well, I'm sure he'll be fine. He's tough.
Yeah, he
Did Rocky
Hey,
ever work
young.
here?
no.
No, never
No,
did.
Brandon did.
Okay, yeah.
Brandon was a utility man.
Oh yeah.
We taught him everything. How to cook in the kitchen, run the prep.
You know what I
Get
call
me a
those
day
guys?
off.
Be a
You know what I call
server.
those guys? I call those guys generals because they generally do whatever the hell I tell them.
That's what he was. He'd come in and say, well, how should I be
You could have a
dressed?
lot of them. It'd be a lot easier.
Well, I was going to ask you when we were talking about things throughout the years and everything. Talk a little bit about how COVID impacted you guys here and how it changed you, and what did it change temporarily? How did you feel that? And then what changed during that hasn't gone back? Maybe that you guys have done the same.
COVID killed lunch, so that hasn't come back
Yeah.
Yeah,
yet, and that was 6 years ago almost.
yeah. Been that long now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, COVID
Well-
was probably the worst thing. Like I said, I've been here over 40 years, and COVID was probably the worst thing I've had to deal
That
with.
Did you guys try to
Wild.
keep up with like carry out or anything?
Oh, that's
You
how
just-
we stayed
Oh,
alive.
Yeah, you did a lot of carry out then because
Yeah.
because Indianapolis leaned in way harder than the rest of the
Yeah.
state. They went the
Shutting you down.
local officials just went nuts with that
He
stuff.
got a lot of hospitals.
Yeah, so you had to go out and
People-
hustle and sell some catering and to goes
Yeah,
then.
he was taking care
we
of
got
that
some lucky
part.
from like some people that wanted to help
Yeah,
that we knew, and they're like, "Hey, we have we have some money that we want to, like, if you have people that need food, like some people that my wife works with at a commercial real estate company, they ponied up some money, and we took some, probably like 4 or 5 different churches that we just dropped off bags of just pans of food.
Well, you know what's crazy, and I hate to cut you off. You talk about, his how did you make it through? And there in the story, you're telling us about how you helped other people make it through.
Yeah.
During COVID, which says a lot about you.
It was a weird time, man. Like,
yeah. I owned a bar.
Dried up overnight.
I mean, immediately with the snap of a finger, you can't open the doors.
Yeah.
What do you do as a business owner?
What was it like when you were watching the rest of the state open back up in Indianapolis? It's like, no, we're not opening up.
It was hard.
Yeah, I know. But I also knew that some places didn't open up for years.
Yeah.
Like California fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I mean, it did suck, but like
You made it.
you can't. That shit you don't worry about. Like you
Right,
can't worry
absolutely.
about what they're doing.
Yeah.
No, I
We're
remember
trying to solve these
because I owned a place in downtown Franklin at the time, and we were a bar. We had food. It was good, but it was food just because you have to have food, And we weren't a restaurant. And then when it happened, and everybody's frantically trying to, and we had a smaller staff, so everybody was frantically trying to figure out the carry out piece, like you guys did, to stay afloat, keep your employees employed.
Yeah.
So me and my partner Tom, we just made a decision, like we're not going to jump in that. We're going to let them have that. We just closed. We were in a position where we could do that. They were not. They had significantly more staff that they had to concern themselves with. So we just really hey, go here. We just, all the neighbor restaurants and bars, go there. We're closing. And then I went and helped another restaurant owner down there, Richard's Brick Oven. But we opened a food kitchen type thing where we were just feeding people. So, and I just did that. But so you did the same thing with the churches then. You were just serving food at these churches.
Yeah, that was like the first, like the immediate couple weeks. Then you could start doing like curbside carryouts.
Yep.
That's
Call ahead.
You mentioned
Yeah.
Rocky, his neighborhood that he moved into,
oh yeah.
they would, he put it out on his neighborhood website,
Yeah.
and they would send in orders, and he would get 30. At one time, we had to tell him to cut it off at 30 meals because he was getting like 30 to 40 meals for families, and we'd have to bag them all up, and then he'd come over and pick them up and then deliver them. And
Yeah.
so that we had a lot of good regular customers that helped us stay afloat too. That brought us,
Yeah.
But
you guys had earned that over the years.
yeah.
Yep.
That was one of the times that you seen what kind of clientele you really had here.
Right.
You had people that wanted this place to be open, and
Yeah, I
they
forgot
kept
about
coming
that.
in and buying food to go because we kept telling them this is how we got to
They're
survive.
literally buying from you because they know if they don't, you go away.
Right.
And that would kind
Yeah.
of circles back and ties into what I was talking about earlier about taking care of your local mom and pop restaurants.
Yeah. Well, they did during COVID.
We lost a lot of great places during COVID.
Yeah,
I'm so
we
glad
did.
you guys survived.
Well, we lost a circle downtown Indy during COVID. I mean, the whole circle is just boarded up windows. Nobody's in any of those buildings. Businesses dissipated.
Yeah.
Downtown's empty. Nobody goes down there anymore. And because of COVID, we've all kind of have learned how to just be by ourselves and order DoorDash and everything else. We've lost the community aspect, I think, post-COVID. And hopefully that's coming back together. Hopefully you see that coming back together now. People coming out, weather changing, things like that.
Do you see any positive from COVID? Do you think people just appreciate being in your restaurant more today than after they had it taken away for a while? Any I always say nothing's all inclusively good or bad. Do you see anything that just kind of came out of it that was good for the restaurant at all? Or no, it just sucked.
I mean, I was ready to be done with lunch for a long time. So
I was going to say, he
no longer
loved
do
it because it got rid of lunch
You
for
sleep
us.
in a little bit now.
Yeah.
no, it really wasn't that. It was just the old adage: if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
it was just tough. Like tough to staff. Tough. To
Overhead
just-
was too high for lunch.
Right,
Nobody's
right.
coming in. I got to pay a cook. I got to do this, and they're just standing around.
Well, you don't make as much at lunch. There's lunch specials.
Yeah.
There's lunch entree prices.
Yeah,
It's not like a
you're
full
talking
meal.
$10.99 for
Yeah.
lunch. People don't, they want
Some
to get
people
in
like
and
it.
out quick.
Yeah.
No, you're getting tipped out.
Well, I think
$2
the
on
biggest
that.
thing is you probably could have been okay with lunch if you didn't have to pay your staff. But at the end of the day, people don't give the gratuities to the staff during lunch that they would at nighttime. So it's just really hard to have somebody come in and not make any money. So it's probably you guys made the right call. Just said, we're not gonna mess with it no more. Do we want to take a break?
I think we're going to take a little break. We're going
Take
to
a
come
little
right
break,
back.
and we're gonna
Good.
come back. Maybe you're gonna entice us
some
with some
food?
stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, hey, we'll be right back. We are back. I don't know if you noticed, we have a spread at this table now. Gotta say, I'm very impressed. Can you tell us just what we're having today? It's gone. It's essentially gone, but it was delicious.
So without turning too much stuff on for you guys, we've got our pizzas that we sell. We hand roll those out. We make the sausage. We make the sauce.
Excellent thin crust too.
Just thin crust, 12-inch. That's all we have. So if you're looking for
Yeah,
a
we've murdered that
large deep dish, not us.
So we're a thin crust only.
Thin crust is all we got.
Okay.
This is a chopped salad that we don't serve. I just made it for you guys. It's,
Oh, off menu is what we call that.
yep. The secret menu.
VIP.
So secret, nobody knows about it.
There it is.
Uh,
It might get added.
Yeah.
So that's something we made. Like when our family gets together, there's like 22 of us.
Okay.
So
Throw
we
that
made
out
that
there.
on Sunday.
Now, what kind of pizza was this? This had a little bit of everything. Is this your most popular pizza? Is the most popular pizza just a standard pepperoni?
Probably get a lot of pepperoni sausage.
Sure, the kids
This
like
one's
the
just kind of like
cheese.
a deluxe, a little bit. We have one that has 9 different toppings on it. We sell quite a
wow.
bit of that one.
It's excellent. Stuff in my face.
Everything but anchovies.
I gotta say, and I'm a pizza guy. I
Everything
love
but
pizza.
the fish.
I have started to go the thin crust route because I've noticed that the bread fills me up, and I don't really get to
Yep.
enjoy the pizza that much. You get the pizza from the wrong place, and it's like you're really just eating bread. You're not really eating the toppings.
Yep.
That thing was fantastic. That pizza was fantastic for sure.
Yes, we sell enough to keep them on the menu, and really that takes up about half the kitchen
Yeah.
to do this stuff.
Yeah, I never messed with pizza in my place because it just felt like the dynamic, it changes the kitchen a lot.
for sure.
And but
Stuff
I'm
you
going
don't
to tell
think
you,
about.
whenever my family comes in here, everybody's like, "Oh, you have the pizza?" I'm like, "Well, I always have the pizza by default because we always order. My kids always want pizza, right? So I always get the pizza. I get whatever entree I'm going to have that day, and then I end up eating some pizza too. So it's rare that I come in here that I don't eat pizza. 'Cause
Right.
Well, your kids are probably old enough. You're not in
I got to fight them for it now.
full dad mode of I'm not going to order anything. I'm just going to eat
Eat the
whatever.
scraps. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I still order stuff.
I'll eat the goldfish that's in my wife's purse.
No, but I was telling you a story earlier. I was like, one time my wife and I came in here and we both got our entrees. And I was like, I want a pizza. I'm going to take a pizza. I got a pizza to go home. And she was driving or whatever. She looks over and I'm eating the pizza on the way. I ate that thing on the way home. She goes, seriously? I'm like, she goes, aren't you full? I'm like, yeah, but it's good. So I just ate that pizza all the way home.
So this is we've obviously. I mean, the
So-
pizza is an easy one. You say we sell enough to keep it on the menu.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 things? Your top 3 sellers here. What do people come here for? I mean, I posted a picture of us, and people went immediately. They recognized the background,
Arians.
Oh.
and they
yeah.
said, "Food's delicious. Food's delicious." I had somebody already ask if I could bring them the lasagna.
Yeah. Let's say lasagna,
What? Yeah. What are the top 3?
probably spaghetti, and probably chicken piccata,
Okay.
like a lemon butter
Yep.
sauce.
So they, I always, this is a place. So the Italian restaurants I go to is a lot of times with the food I'm in the mood for. That's certain places I go for certain things. You know what I
Right.
mean? And here was always one of the definitive things that I would always do here was the lasagna. If I had a hankering for lasagna,
That's my favorite meal. Is
I
lasagna.
come
hands down.
here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I wouldn't even eat lasagna at my place. I'd come to your place. If I wanted lasagna, I came here for your lasagna.
I wouldn't.
So
I'm in that boat of like, it just makes me so stuffed.
Cause
Yeah.
Like it's just like,
I can't eat it like I used to, but it's so good.
So do you eat like this, like in off hours, or are you just sick of Italian food?
so it's not like a buffet is open while
Yeah.
we're here. Like
Right.
you got to get stuff ready, and by the time we're getting the kitchen ready, and you usually don't want to get in their way. You try to make something, so it's like I'll just either bring my own food or whip something up fast. But
yeah, I was going to ask you that because when I owned an Italian restaurant, I put on some weight. I just I go in there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be healthy.
You're eating at weird hours, and
I'm like, that's probably the big part is you're eating when you can, and that's typically after the rush, before the rush.
Yeah. I'd be like, I'm gonna have the salmon and the spinach salad, and I'm like, oh, look at those meatballs. 17 meatballs later, I'm like, I did it again. It was so good though. I mean, the Italian food's world renowned for a reason.
Lots of carbs.
Yep.
Delicious.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Like Atkins wasn't a big. Didn't help back in the day. When people were doing that.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of people coming in? Do you have gluten-free this and carb-free that?
Do you guys have that?
We do. Yeah, we have gluten-free. We gotta make it. We make it special to order.
Sure.
Just you never know what somebody's.
There's some legitimate allergies out there now with celiacs and everything. With
for sure,
gluten,
yeah.
But yeah,
we're doing a meal for a basketball team tonight, and one of the kids mom said he has celiacs.
Yeah.
No, that's legit. I've seen
That's when
people
you
with.
gotta-
I know some people with celiacs. They get that gluten in them, and man, it's straight poison to those folks. Sadly, so you got this joint. And how many times have you had people come to you and say, "Hey, have you ever thought about a second location?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Living in Carmel, they're like, we need a north side.
Yeah. Hey, I'm here for it, brother. I'm in Carmel. Let's bring one to Main Street.
At any point were you ever tempted? Did you ever maybe did you to the point where you actually looked at a spot?
Or is one just too many already?
No, I mean, I would say there was a good opportunity for a spot on the canal like 15 years ago. That kitchen was already there.
Yeah.
They had all the equipment already bought, and it was just like part of the rent.
Turnkey.
But it was just kind of one of those. Being on the canal is super seasonal.
Yep.
And it's hard to get.
Well, look,
seasonal
COVID, you're
staff
probably like,
all the
oh, thank
time.
God I didn't do that.
Oh, this was way before that.
Yeah,
This
but
is
once it came, you were probably like, oh, that would have killed it.
Yeah, actually, having something outside where somebody can just grab and go.
Yeah.
One person at a time inside or whatever we were doing back then.
Well, I want to talk about this.
Oh yeah, that's what we need.
When did you start jarring the sauce? So for all of you, I don't know what camera you're going to put that in right here. Look at that.
So this was
Iaria's red sauce. Sugo.
something in the making for maybe about a year or so.
Yeah.
And then we finally found a spot up just south of the region in Shelby, Indiana, that will do small batch stuff
Okay.
like this.
Well,
So we're looking at like 100, like some of the place you're looking at like 5,000 jars or something,
right.
and this is like 200. So
but this is legitimately jarred. Can go on a shelf. You can stay in your cabinet for a while. It's got,
it's like a 2-year shelf life.
Yeah, because we jarred our sauce, but I didn't do that. I just that's a to-go cater. You got to eat that in 2 days, or it's going to be bad. Don't tell you. I didn't have my stuff jarred. Now I just want ingredients. Pretty simple here.
Yeah.
Fresh tomatoes, fresh onions, olive oil, sugar, salt, garlic, basil, pepper.
No weird chemicals. No.
That's it, dude.
RFK approved.
Put that next to your frickin' ragouts, your pregos, all that garbage. This is made right.
Everything gluten free, vegan.
Gluten free, no preservatives, all natural. And then it's got their story on there that we talked about. That's
Yeah. So we went up there, tasted it, like, no, we need a little bit more of this.
Wow.
Tasted it, a little bit more.
So they
of
got your
this.
recipe.
We kind of tweaked it down. And,
I mean, you literally went in there and was like, that's not right. It needs something.
yeah.
Now-
You add it. And
If somebody wants this, they got to come here, or are you on the shelf anywhere
we
yet?
have not got it on the shelf anywhere yet. We're looking at like smaller independent grocery stores.
Yep.
Anybody-
But we can swing by here on the way home from work, pop at the front desk or in the bar, and just buy a couple jars.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what are we retailing these at for?
So these are $7.50.
Yep.
Tax, it's an even $8.
Oh, I like how you did that. It's easy math. So.
Yeah.
So
we've got some places that are interested. It was kind of one of those things we had to start somewhere and see if it even was viable, how it was tasting, all that good stuff. This has only been since like right before Christmas.
Yeah,
this is-
brand
'cause
new, brand new.
I saw it when I walked in. I'm like, makes sense, but
Brand
I
new,
didn't-
yeah.
I hadn't seen it.
So we
before.
sold a lot during Christmas. Like
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of people were selling them as gifts. Like we
Oh,
were,
this goes right
we
in the
sold
gift
out
basket.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we sold at least twice, and then
Yeah.
we did again on Valentine's Day.
Every time we get it in, we sell it out real quick.
So we're up to like 250 in a run now. So
Okay.
we're trying to keep more on hand, but.
And you know, as word gets out, people are just gonna pop in here. You want something to eat? Nope, just here to
Yeah,
get the
but-
sauce. That's all I
Oh,
want.
yeah.
Is just the sauce.
I'm surprised we haven't got somebody coming in. I just want to do this. I just want to buy this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
well,
that
I don't want
leaf.
anything.
I mean, I'm sure over the years you've had people come in and just want to buy a big tub of your sauce at times or stuff like that. You get now. It's always your sauce. Traditionally, it was always the Iaria sauce that did the Italian festival, all the food. Is that correct, or is that a little off?
No, so that was like just workers were down there helping.
Yeah, yeah.
So that one's more of
I always saw your dad so involved. So
yeah. So we cooked everything down there. Like that was, man. We would have
down there in the Holy Rosary kitchen
in the basement. Yeah, we would have
That's
a big. It's a 60 quart pot. So what is that? It's a 15-gallon pot.
Yep.
We'd have 7 of them across back there, and that's
Dude, they're just running sauce all day out of that basement to all the different cities. Just it's pretty
we
impressive
would
to watch.
make it and put it in. I don't even know.
All volunteers.
How big do you think that
oh,
that vat they kept in there?
that thing.
It was probably 8 feet tall, 4 feet around.
That's a lot of sauce.
We would just like I'd be home from college, come in. You have to like, all right, you need a week off. You're making. We'd have 7 pots.
Yeah.
We'd do that twice a day for 5 days.
Just,
a lot of
I don't
sauce.
even remember how much it was.
So-
It was just
Where we no, this is our first on location shoot, which we wanted the iconic bar backdrop of this place. But you guys have an open invite to come down to my office where we shoot our normal business. I've got all these photos of the old Italian neighborhood all over the walls down there. One of which, it's a bunch of young guys in suits. You don't see their face or anything, but they're pitching dimes. You know, and everybody used to pitch dimes. It's in the basement of Holy Rosary after Mass when that photo was taken.
Sure
And-
wasn't pennies.
Yeah,
Pitching
might have been
pen-
pennies, yeah. But
yeah, pitching pennies is
yeah,
right there.
but they were pitching pennies, and it's just an
Man,
iconic photo.
Man, his uncle used to do that here when we got bored at night.
Yeah, we used to do it. We were kind of bougie in high school. We used quarters,
Yeah, yeah.
but we used to throw there were in the classrooms. There was the line in the concrete, and just whoever got closest to the line.
We used to play at the service close
You
to
got
the
all
wall.
the quarters.
on the wall.
Closest to the wall, yeah.
Yeah, that's how
It's like
we
that
used to
Jordan
play against the
documentary.
wall.
Yeah, you had to hit the wall, but then it's closest to the wall. That's how it goes. And I'll tell you, Mike. So what's next? What's next for Iaria? Is it just standing pat and consistency is key, or is there some kind of growth on the horizon, or like what do you see? What's your 5-year plan for this place?
Damn, we're in survival.
Okay.
No,
Still picking up the pieces post COVID. Everybody's starting to come back outside, just weathering the storm.
I think we're past the storm. It's just, I mean, just the restaurant industry in general is. No 2 days are the same.
Yeah.
As
Is that a
much
good
as
thing?
it kind of seems like it's monotonous, shit that comes up every day.
What's maybe the biggest thing that you deal with just being in this industry? Is it staffing? Is it food cost? Is it overhead? What's the number one thing on your mind? Obviously, you want to put out a good product, right?
Yeah.
But outside of that,
So majority of that is staffing, keeping those people trained, but also having enough hours for everybody, because it's not always like you need like 14 people on a Saturday and you need like 8 on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and like
Right.
where do you fill in those gaps? Who wants to work 3 or 4 days and not 5?
Right.
Who needs?
You want that really good shift. You're also got to take one of those not so good.
Well,
shifts.
that's how we
Balance
got.
it.
That's how we got a lot of people to work lunch. Was you want a Saturday, you got to work a Tuesday lunch.
yeah.
Yep.
or a Wednesday lunch.
So it's kind of managing the people part of the business more than the business. I mean, the business, obviously, that is the business, but the people aspect, I think, is what I heard you guys talking about. Like, oh, you want to own a bar? Sounds fun. No, dude, it's not what it looks. You're not coming here and just drinking all day.
Right? Yeah, it's not a party.
No.
It's always, and we're just walk like a fine line of. You have enough people, you get one person who calls in sick, and then it just
Fill gaps.
kind of snowballs on you, and there's no real bullpen.
And now
You
you're
don't
coming
realize how important that one person is when they don't show up.
right.
Yeah. So this bar, just the backdrop inside the restaurant, would have been the perfect scene, the perfect place to film that iconic scene in the movie A Bronx Tale. Now you can't leave. Remember that scene?
Oh, yeah, he
So
shuts the door.
every time I come in here, Dominic, you're behind that bar and you're running out here. You're taking care of people. You ever had to have a moment with somebody in this bar, or maybe they
like Kingsman,
Now-
manners maketh man. You start closing the door.
now you just can't leave? I mean, this is a pretty relaxed place, but there's also alcohol. So.
It's relaxed right now.
We've had, when me and his uncle were together, yeah, we had a couple, but since we've been together,
Yeah.
it's, and even then it was just somebody came off the street and wanted to start problem in here.
Yeah. This place is more of a restaurant to me these days. You know, it's very family oriented. I mean, I bring my family there.
That's why we, and a lot of people respect the Iaria name,
Yeah.
and and that's the Italian respect too. Okay. A lot of, I mean, like you said, this neighborhood went from when I was a kid, it was a beautiful neighborhood. When I was in high school, it was a terrible neighborhood. And then when I came working with my uncle and them, it became another beautiful neighborhood. So it went through stages.
Yeah.
Okay. Where there was rough times around here, like you said, down in Fountain Square. It
Late
was rough.
80s.
Late 80s. But we never had that problem here.
No.
And it was because they wouldn't come in this little area.
That's that scene in the movie because those guys weren't from there.
Well,
They didn't know any better.
I'm trying to be polite about it.
Yeah.
And they just knew if you came and screwed with our cars or anything,
Yep.
there was going to be a problem.
Yep.
And if we caught you, there was really going to be a problem.
Hey, forget about it. Forget about it.
That's what the old basement was always good for.
Yeah. We don't all play baseball, but we all have a baseball bat.
There it is.
So, guys, what else is there anything else you want to share? I mean, we really
Tell us. I mean, just
this is
a little hidden gem
There's
about.
so
I want to
much
hear from
here. I know
Dom.
we're
I
gonna
think Dom,
miss so much.
Dom has all the
I know.
stories.
Oh,
Dom's the
okay.
one with the stories. Dom, can you give us just one great story? You can leave all names out from as far back as
Or
you want to
not.
go. Of just one of the craziest moments that you've got to experience here, and one of the best moments you've got to experience here. The craziest,
Probably the
and
crazy and one of the better moments that I was here. And there were some good moments. With a lot of important, big people was, and also Tommy Lasorda.
yes,
Okay, I'm not a big Dodger fan.
I am.
Okay, but when he came in here, and this was the Italian with your dad Primo used to do the old timers. Oh, the old timers. The old timers, and they'd have somebody come in and speak. Well, Tommy Lasorda came for the old timers to speak, and then all the old Italians brought him down here. And this side of this bench was just nothing but old Italians. And I'm 68. You guys are a little bit younger.
A little bit.
So I was with his grandpa, guys that age, and it was just. But Tommy Lasorda was one of the neatest persons I ever met because he treated everybody like family. I mean, he was going back, like you said, big names. You kind of guard them. You didn't want them to get bugged. He didn't care. If you came up and asked for a picture, he was up taking a picture. I mean, that was one of the things that helped me and Nick get the people start coming back in here because it got to become you go in Iaria's, you don't know who the hell you're going to run into.
Right.
You
Yeah.
could run into
Place to
Tommy
be seen,
Lasorda,
yeah.
you could run into Bobby Knight, Gene Cady. Steve Yoder. I'm talking about a lot of old coaches.
Massimino.
Raleigh Massimino. The night of the NCAA tournament in '95, I think it was here. But this restaurant right here, I got a basketball at home.
97.
97 was it?
I was a
97.
senior.
Rick
I worked
Majerus.
that night.
And I had a basketball that was one of the sponsors sitting on the end of the bar, and Coach Majerus made every coach that night
that's awesome, man.
sign that basketball.
So I remember one time, I'm pretty sure he was on the Mark Patrick show, but Mark Patrick was interviewing Rick Majerus because they were in town for whatever game they were in town. I just remember this from way back, and I remember hearing, he's like, so you're gonna do it? What are you gonna do tonight? He goes, I'm going to Iaria's.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like, why would you even need to ask me that question? I'm in town. I'm going to Iaria's.
Yeah.
And that was his
The
attitude.
funny story about Rick Majerus was, me and Nick used to keep this place open until 12 o'clock. We usually didn't get out of here till 1:30, okay?
Yep.
That little side door, you see it's got a diamond window in it.
Yep.
But we would lock the doors and then clean up everything, and then we all walk out together.
Right.
And that was the big thing about Nick. Everything be done. Next day you came in, you didn't have anything around. So and every time we get to that door, somebody would come around the corner, okay? And, so that night, same thing. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. Nick says, let's go. I want to get the hell out of here. And he puts the key in. Here comes the car. Pulls right up in front of the door. And, we all duck, because we don't want anybody to see us. And he goes, Nick goes, look at this fat son of a bitch getting out of this car, man. He goes, how in the hell, this fat son of a bitch shouldn't be eating this late. And I go, Nick, you know who that is? I don't give a shit. I want to go home. I said, that's Coach Majerus. He goes, okay, so Coach Majerus. I said, he just had a bypass, man. He probably can't eat a bunch of food and everything. And, just open the door and let me go out and tell him that we're closed and everything. As soon as he opened the door and I walked out, he said, hey, Coach, come on in. We'll feed you. And, of course, Majerus sees that everything's closed up and everything. He doesn't come in, but the next day he came back.
Yeah.
Did he eat a lot of food or no?
Yeah, he ate.
Rick Majerus was known for putting the food down.
He's like, he just had a bypass. He's not gonna eat that much. I will
did not
take
play.
everything. I am
He would
starving.
order a lot of food.
Oh, yeah. He was
Yeah.
legendary.
Well,
What's
he
what's
would-
one of your favorite moments just in this
Well,
place?
circling back on him, when talking about that story, like, when my grandfather passed away, this is my Uncle Nick's dad, Majerus, he was at Utah then,
Yep.
sent him a letter,
That's cool.
like, I don't think it's up there
Condolences
anymore.
and
I see Rick's pick over there. He's next to Patino,
Yeah.
Henry Winkler, Reggie
hits.
Miller.
Yeah.
we used to have the letter that he sent to us.
So I think it broke. I
Yeah,
think
the
it got knocked
glass,
off,
somebody
but
probably knocked it
It
off.
was typed up and signed saying, that was 1999.
He was a hell of a coach.
I think my grandfather died in
He was a
99.
hell of a coach. So
But one more story about him.
yeah,
You guys are probably too young, but there used to be a sports announcer called Fred Khalil
yep.
on Channel 8. And he used to do a wrap-up of the NCAA tournament with the coaches from the Final Four or the, second, first round, whatever was here. He would do a wrap-up each night with the coaches. So one Saturday, Majerus tells us, me and Nick, that we got to be here. And he needed like 12 sweatshirts. And okay, so we meet him here, turn on Channel 8, sit down and watch. He had everybody wearing Iaria sweatshirts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. That's good people. That's good
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, you gotta show love, get
Yeah.
love.
That's
That's good people.
our publicity.
Yeah.
That's how we get out.
So people are putting their necks on the line because
I mean-
they believe in you guys.
That corner right there, Mario Andretti did a interview for the Indy 500 sitting in that corner.
Now I will tell you going forward, you can feel free to say those AshHoles filmed in this building. Right alongside.
And everybody's gonna say, who?
Everybody's gonna be like, You know.
Now you've got the iconic Andretti lineage photo above the bar. I always loved that photo up there. So and I knew Mario and Marco and all of them, John, Jeff, all of them have always come in here. This is the spot when they're in town, and some of them live here sometimes, some of them don't. They're all from PA, but we grew up. It was by default. You rooted for the Andrettis in my household.
If it ended in an I, that's our team.
There's one guy outside of the Andretti family we rooted for, and that was Danny Sullivan. But other than that,
that's amazing. You said that.
Danny
that's
Sullivan
how
to
it
win,
was.
baby.
That's how it was in our family.
Yeah,
you rooted for Andretti. Get the hell out of our party.
Yeah, no, we were Andretti. I grew up rooting for Mario. It shifted to Michael, and then it shifted to Marco. Just as they went, and I also Jeff and all of them. It's funny. I was never into NASCAR. Didn't know anything about NASCAR. I grew up here. It's open wheel race. I'm an IndyCar guy, right? But I had some friends of ours when we were living in that apartment. I was telling you guys that when my wife and I first got married 30 years ago. We lived. The two guys next to us. They were roommates, and this was back when everything was Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon.
JG, that's my guy.
And they were winning
2-4 DuPont.
So
Pittsburgh's own.
They had whoever did better in the race had to put the other's big cardboard cutout in their bedroom window face out of the parking lot. That was their thing. So I'm over there. I don't give two shits about this race. But they had food and beer. So I'm like, I'm hanging out. They're like, who you got? Who are you rooting for? And they were like, you like Earnhardt? You like Gordon? I was like, I don't know. Well, this is back when they still used newspapers. The paper was out with all the races.
Right.
So I'm just reading through this shit. I mean, I don't know any. I saw Andretti. It was a Jeff or John that was doing NASCAR. I think it was Jeff.
I know there was a John.
Yeah. I'm like, Andretti. I pick Andretti. They start rolling laughing. Like, oh, he sucks. He's never won a race ever. He should go back to the Indy cars and blah, blah, blah. He sucks. Yada, yada, yada. Giving me all kinds of shit. That son of a bitch won that race that day.
That's funny.
I was never invited back. But what I did, the local tire shop down the street he's one of the sponsors. They had his posters. I filled their whole freaking patio window with posters of Andretti. They had to stay up till the next race. Like, there you go.
That's why you weren't welcome back, brother. We found out why. It had to do with Andretti. You wanted to decorate the building.
But yeah, we were hardcore Andretti. We still are, big time Andretti people. So
I mean, I can listen. Andretti won that day, but I feel like I won today.
Yes, you did.
I got to meet a new bar that I'd never been to, restaurant that I'd never been to. The food is fantastic. I got to tell you, the food's good. I don't even know you that. The food was really good. More so than that, I love that, you guys bear responsibility. It's not for you, it's for your grandfather. And like Dom said, like we're kind of the flag bearers here. And people want to care about people who care. Like we're all looking for the hero in life, right? And you may not look at yourself that way, but I bet you if we could find the people that were running the restaurant, dude, in 1913, and they could say, who's doing it now? And it's you. Like, you'd be the hero still carrying the banner. So, nice job on that. If you have not been here, bring your ass. The food is fantastic. The business is great. They give a damn, and it's literally a staple of the community.
I mean, this is the icon here locally. This is where you go.
Thank you.
Some have come, some have went, and there's some other good ones out there.
Yeah.
But this is the icon in town, and there's a reason. Maybe Iaria is Italian for icon. I don't know, but this is a place. This has been a part of my family's history, coming in and out of here all these years. I even owned an Italian restaurant. And it was funny. Every year the ratings would come out top, and I got into the top 3 with you guys and Mama Corolla. And I'm like, I'm in the conversation. They're like, hey, man, we can keep voting for you. We can shout. No. I don't need that kind of pressure in my life. No. I am happy with a distant third place. I'm going to stay down here third. I ain't trying to get in front of Iaria's. I don't need that pressure in my life. But that's how impactful this restaurant has been. It's just so many people. Outside the Italian-American community, it's just the whole city. It's huge. How many people got engaged in here? How many people had their anniversary dinners here? How many people let somebody know, hey, you're going to be a grandfather in here? You know, just this place has so much history.
Probably a lot of stories that
the
you're involved in. You know
about
about
this place. This place, And I'm so glad you guys are still doing it. You're doing it well. You're showing no signs of shutting it down. This place should be forever. It really should be.
Yeah.
I mean, how you said that? Like, we just got these booths
They're nice, too.
right after Christmas
Yeah.
from the original 1954.
That's what I'm saying. So a piece of that
Yeah,
is
just
just
got
with
it.
you, and you're just carrying it on. And I think it's a kick-ass story, man.
So, like,
I'm glad to have been able to like even share this with anybody.
There was a daycare down in North Salem?
North Vernon.
North Vernon.
North Vernon,
Yeah, you said North Salem, but they were looking. They were interested in some of them. And we're like, if you take all of them, you can have all of them.
Yep.
Wow.
And they're like, okay, we'll do it. And
Got the new seats. I sat
that
on
was
the
New
comfy.
Year's, right after New Year's.
Sweet. Well, hey, thank you for joining. Come on down to Iaria's. Awesome people right here off College and what? What is this? College and
Lord.
This is South Street.
Okay.
South turns into Fletcher right over here.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Fletcher
just
Place.
south of Washington Street.
parking is right across the street. I will say go with the pizza. It was good, but everybody else says lasagna and spaghetti and meatballs
Lasagna.
and no matter what you want, you can get whatever you want, but you can forget about
Got
it.
it. Yeah, forget about it.
You can forget about it.
Forget
Just
about it.
order it
Those,
and
the
forget about it.
virtual-
All right, Dominic, you gotta say it one time for everybody. Say forget about it.
Forget about it.
We'll see you next week,
All
AshHoles.
right. Take care, people.